So this is a video of a bike ride at last up to the slate mine, which I've done years ago, but I did it last time as a big loop. Probably won't do that because I think the road that I went down last year is probably going to be icy. But the main road up is gritted. I checked on the Google Maps, it's all flowing. And then when I get to the top, is it Honister or what it was called? And then go up the slate mine, which is extremely steep. It's probably the steepest thing I've been up, but that should be okay, I think, for ice. I say that here now, but I think because it's mostly all this ice is on roads and sort of like smooth sort of surfaces, and it's very rocky. Well, not rocky. It's sort of I don't know what you call it, but it was just quite gravelly going up, I suppose. Gravel, and I don't think that's going to be so bad. I might be wrong, so I might not get to the top. So we'll see what happens. And when I get to the top, it's an amazing view actually. Well, at least from a drone, it's an amazing view. And you can just see down into Buttermere, and it looks spectacular actually. And obviously that's why I'm here for photos. So I might leave my bike up there. I've got the chain, and maybe wander over to Haystacks if the weather's all right up there. But it is the most fun downhill part at the end because it's about 1,700 feet down, straight down, and obviously that's straight up in a minute as well. And it is really, really good actually. The first bit's off-road, and the second part is just on the road. And obviously I can see what the conditions of it are like on the way up. So, and you know, how to come back down. So yeah, this is the video, but I'm actually sitting in the car waiting for at least 5 minutes to charge my actual bike camera up, because on the way over, I left it on in my coat pocket for 80 minutes, recording nothing. I thought it was quite hot when I took it out, and now it's almost dead. So I'm charging it up a little bit, but luckily I've got so much crap in my bag and bits and pieces that I remembered I've got a spare power bank thing. So I'm going to take this out and then charge it on the way up. So yeah, so most of this will probably be on the way down and from the top because I've got to charge the thing. Anyway, this is the video. So you never get scale on these things, but I go as far as I can. And the thing is, it just doesn't look very steep. I've said this last year, or a few years ago actually. A few years back, sorry, I can't speak. And it's up to the top of that, and it is steep, it's really steep. Like I said, it's the steepest thing I've ever done before. And coming back down, I'm not gonna do what I did last year, say last year, a few years ago, because the one long film sped up, because I'm gonna be stopping to do drone stuff, and also it is slippery, so you have to take the time. If you compare that to probably something like Hard Knot Pass, this is steeper than that, especially the windy bit. So if anyone's done that, it gives you an idea on how steep this is. So it definitely hasn't got easier since the last time I've done it. It gets quite loose with the rocks, but it is not icy, so that's good. And as you can look around, you can see how high up I've come. As I started at about, I don't know, it's like 100 feet, 150 feet or so. And now I'm up here. So this is the zigzaggy part, and this is where, whether I'm going to be able to do it or not, if there's any ice in the corners, if there is, I will have to walk around it or stop. Oh, thank God it's got the push assist. And like I said, I only realised when I got out of the car, I wouldn't have known otherwise. I found the button on the side. I didn't read the instructions when I got it. To be fair, they were in German. So I was obviously wrong about there not being any ice at the top. So there is, but I know that's the last corner and it gets much easier after that. And I can just push it with the push assist. if needed, because I do want to get to the top because for the photography. This isn't really about the bike ride, clearly, as I'm walking most of it now. That's not a good idea. That bit's really icy. Even the push assist wasn't working, it was just spinning the wheel and the bike was sliding backwards. So I'm not going to cut up over the grass, it's too much of an effort for that. And you know, I know it gets better around that corner, which is the only annoying thing. But if I slip, then I'm screwed really. So best not to do that. Even this bit hasn't been the most ideal. It was just like a good idea at the time. Like, I'll just go flying up there, no problems. Get the photos, come back down. There's, yeah, you've got to sometimes think things through a bit more. So I'm going to do my drone here, and then I might just actually go down into Buttermere actually, because that road's going to be right. So this will make this more interesting. So actually, it sort of worked out, even though I couldn't get to the top where I wanted to get. And I saw in the footage actually that it's just getting more icy on the way up anyway, so it wouldn't have got any better, although it's not steep, mind you. So I'm about 300 feet just below where I wanted to get to, and I've done about 1,200 feet to get to this point. And the drone stuff turned out really well actually, because I wasn't planning on flying it around the side of this one. I was going to go over that way, which, hang on. That's not ice, this is from that side. I was going to fly over sort of haystacks and stuff, which I've done before. So actually that came out quite well actually. So hopefully it comes out on the video. So what I'll do now is head back down to, actually go to, yeah, like I said earlier, go to Buttermere and then just do a bit of sort of all over the place really from here on, and no more ice. This trip has been really good actually. I wouldn't have said it's not the most relaxing in places, I would say. It's not a tranquil, relaxing like the beach things in Scotland or anything like that. It's a little bit more than that. So yeah, well, I'll carry on back down. So that's the mountain I was on the other side of earlier. Again, I wasn't obviously at the top, but it was 3/4 the way up probably. And the drone bit was just around that point you can see there. That's where I was flying around the side of it. So you can see how high up it was. And over there is haystacks. And this walk here, or this mountain here, or these mountains here, actually is a really good walk. I did that a couple of years ago in the spring. I wouldn't want to do that in the winter, but it's got a really steep sort of descent on the other side. But yeah, so hang on, spin around. I've just come through most of Buttermere. I'm not going to go all the way down to the end because I'm going to head back over the pass again, so go all the way back up, drop back down into where I started, and just have a look around there actually, and see what I can find down there. that's the end of this year's trip in the Lake District in the winter. It was really good. The whole thing's been really good, actually. There was only one day, I think it was Thursday, where it was just a bit rubbish. I was quite tired, actually, because I'd done quite a lot of walks, or long walks. I'd done the 2 bike rides, and the weather was just a bit rubbish. So most days I was just having a drive around that day. But this last day has been worth it for the whole week, actually. That was really spectacular. And even though I've done it before, and I actually got further before, it just looked amazing today with the snow and just some of the other drone stuff that I got, which I haven't got before. And it was really nice just dropping down into Buttermere as well, actually. And then you have to go back over the whole pass again. So it was a bit up and down, but that's why it's so nice to have an e-bike, because, you know, you don't have to, you can still enjoy the day. It doesn't mean you're just absolutely knackered from doing that. So yeah, this, like I said, this last video from this trip, I've got quite a few this week, not this week, this year. The next one is to the Isle of Harris, which will be that's going to be very different to this. It's not going to be icy, I really hope. And then the summer is, I'm doing the one where I normally go on my own to Scotland for 3 and a bit weeks. That's to the Isle of Mull, the cabin where I normally go to, and the Isle of Skye for a week, and then to Wales afterwards as well. So there's quite a bit this year. So yeah, so thanks for watching, and I'll do another one again. Well, not for a while, actually, because I've got to go back to work. So it's for some time.